and Digby, the two traveling dogs, have migrated all the way to the Golden State. That's California. But when you think of California, do you think of gold or do you think of silver? As in movie and movie stars of the silver screen. If so, we're gonna ruffle your feathers as you find out that we're in Sonoma County, where the classic silver screen movie of The Birds was filmed. So you know that this must be the California Bird Dog edition of Stop Hounding Me. Oh, caca! Oh, caca! Now, a little birdie has told me that we have a flock of contestants with us that are ready to peck away at our canine, or in this case, canary questions. And you guys are?
Laura, Victoria, Mercedes.
And you guys are with?
Paws Rescue.
Awesome. Now, who do we have out there?
We have T-Rex, and he's the little special needs American Bulldog, and then we have Sweet Pea, the tiny Chihuahua.
Awesome. Now, before we get started, I have to ask you, do you think, after facing these canary questions, that your golden goose of hopes and dreams will be taking flight, or will you all end up with egg on your face?
Probably egg.
Probably egg.
Always egg.
No, we don't think so, because on this episode of Stop Hounding Me, being bird-brained is actually a plus. But to make sure that you're prepared, thank you, Digby, to make sure that you're prepared and that you're not winging it, we're going to have you give a great big hound dog howl with me on count of three, as Digby is showing you. 1, 2, 3. Wow, that was great. Actually, rather lengthy, but great. Now, we talked about the beautiful movie, The Birds. Now, I call it beautiful. Some people call it scary because those birds were angry. They were angry birds in the movie. We're trying to decide why the birds were so angry. And we have 3 theories that we're going to test out here today. First of all, we think that the birds could be angry because they were jealous of the dogs always getting walked. Can you imagine walking a bird? We're going to test that out to see how hard it is and to see if me, the bird, is going to be angry or appeased. So please demonstrate for us walking a bird on a leash. Go. Let me see if I'm appeased there. No, not appeased. No, that was actually very good. Yeah, so now we see why birds aren't walked on leashes too much. So I don't think that has anything to do with it. Now let's check our second. I can't see out of this, so I think I'm holding up 2 or 3. Our second theory on why the birds were so angry. We think it could be because they're tired of dogs always getting fed. The birds have to fend for themselves. We're going to have you feed a bird, in this case it will be me, and see if I'm appeased. Ready? Go!
Stuck to my fingers.
Almost. Dog will put it up.
Okay. Gobble.
Now let me see, was I appeased by Old Spaghetti? I know that Digby and Brickle seem to be appeased. But
We'll take that. That's good, huh?
No, I'm not appeased. Still angry bird. No, actually you did a great job, and I still can't see out of this. Now, the last theory that we have on the reason why the birds were so angry, it's because we think that they're tired of people stealing their eggs. To test this theory, we're going to have you try to give back a bird her eggs, but instead of just throwing an egg at her, we're going to have you try to catch it just like a bird with some claws. So let's see if that appeases the bird. Go!
Ready?
Whoop. Here we go. Number 2. Hey!
Got it!
Great job. And that was filled full of water and it didn't bust. So awesome job. And you've tested out all of our theories, but still, as of yet, we cannot say why the birds were angry. I guess it's just a mystery. But one thing that we do know, that you guys have won this episode of Stop Hounding Me if, on the count of 3, we give a great big hound dog howl. 1, 2, 3. I would say that's definitely authentic Stop Hounding Me howling right there. Well, let's see what the dogs under your care have won because of your awesome acting
They're howling
skills.
inside.
First of all, we have a book called The Endless Path. This is a beautiful book about a dog's journey through life with its person. Then as well, we have some Bowser beer. The dogs here can have a great big party with some Bowser beer, a non-alcoholic treat. Then as well, you can suds up the dogs with some Four-Legger. Four-Legger is organic dog shampoo. And then we have the Squeak and Snap. Now this plugs into your phone, and when it makes the squeak, it takes a perfect picture of all the dogs under your care. Finally, we have $225 worth of gift certificates from the Biscuit Barkery of Northern Colorado. Wonderful treats for the wonderful dogs under your care. Now, let's talk a little bit. Actually, let's talk turkey. Now, you guys specialize in helping certain animals. In specific, you talked about bottle puppies.
So bottle puppies comes from the fact that you actually bottle feed the puppies. They do not have a mama. They were either abandoned, mamas died, dropped off at shelters, you know, all kinds of different situations. And I have to bottle feed them. At first, it's usually every hour till they're a couple days old, and then every 2 hours until they're about a week to 2 weeks old. Then I can go to 3 hours, and then 4, and then eventually they'll be on regular dog food.
That's awesome. Now, you guys also help other types of special needs dogs as of dogs. Please tell us how you get them ready to be adopted.
It depends on the dog, but like with T-Rex, we're hoping to be able to fundraise for a wheelchair or prosthetics for him as his elbows don't extend, so he walks on his elbows. It really depends on the dog, but we do what's necessary vet-wise, and then figuring out confidence building. Shadow wasn't completely socialized as a puppy. She was just stuck in a pen her whole life. So, you know, we had her socialized, and Noah's blind and deaf, and when they're blind and deaf, they're very scared, and they, you know, have to build some confidence in order to be friendly with people.
So you are helping dogs that normally wouldn't get help, bringing them together with people that will be enriched because of their relationship with these wonderful, wonderful animals. Well, I can only tell you thank you for all that you do, and I can also tell you that you have solved the mystery of why the birds were so angry. That movie is very, very old. I think the birds were angry because no one was adopting from rescues at that time. What do you guys think?
I think that's a good possibility.
I think it is well. So hopefully, please, don't make the birds angry. Please try to help any type of animal at your local shelter, at your local rescue, as well as these fine people here at Soft Paws. Get involved, try to help any way that you can. We want to mention that all this week, the animals that are under their care have been featured on the Two Traveling Dogs website and the Two Traveling Dogs Facebook page. We also encourage you to keep checking back with their social media avenues as well as their website. And we want to remind everyone, as Brickle and Digby tell me every day, as they can tell you now, please make rescues the breed of choice. And we also want to say that my fine feathered friends here with me today are going to prove that birds of a feather flock together by howling with me one final time on this California Bird Dog edition of Stop Hounding Me on the count of 3. 1, 2, 3.